Hi beauty fam, I thought I'd do a get ready with me and also answer the question of where have I been the past year. So if you're interested in joining me and get ready with me that's pretty chatty, then keep watching. In all honesty, I have not been using a lot of makeup for probably some reasons, mostly because I just have not really felt inspired to use makeup. I've worked really hard to get my skin to where it is today. I film in natural light for those of you who are not familiar with my channel. So yeah, all I have is skincare today, and I have a video coming up on Korean skincare that I've been using, and I would say that probably 75–80% of my skincare that is on my face is Korean or Asian skincare, and then maybe 15–20% is like non-Asian. Actually just taking some of this Laneige lip mask, and this is, I believe this is Korean. This is the lip sleeping mask in the shade or the flavor berry. It does have a light smell. This is my favorite one because it's not too overpowering. This is probably my third one. I have this product next to my bedstand, so this is what I put on at night so my lips are not dry. I really love it. A lot of these balms they can dry your lips, and I find that this doesn't. It's just such a great product. It has vitamin C, coconut milk, and it says intense moisturization, soften and smooth. And although this is a lip mask, it's I just use it during the day, so it's that good. And it is made in Korea. It comes in different flavors or colors, and this is probably my favorite one just because it's not too perfumey or offensive to me. At the beginning of last year, I realized that I had consumed too much makeup, and I think I've been going through this process of decluttering my makeup over the past year. And you know, some people have like videos where they just go in and declutter everything. That was not my process. Like, I've been slowly decluttering because it's about a process, like things that expire throughout the time, but also like the season I'm in. Okay, I'm grabbing this little double tensor. This is my favorite primer. I've not replaced it because it's so expensive. It's Sisley. It's the Sisley double tensor. It's like skincare meets primer. It's like the best ever. My face feels a little red today, and it's just like this kind of gel primer. It's like a serum, and I just love it. I just love the way it smells. After going through all my makeup, I realized how much I had, and I had like a come to Jesus conversation with myself about overconsumption. And I also looked at my finances of like really how much of the makeup I spent. I spent a lot of money on makeup, and not that I didn't enjoy it, but there were some pieces where I'm just like, I didn't like that product. It was a waste of money. And I tend to do luxury beauty. And so, you know, $50 foundations add up after a while, or, you know, the Chanel products or the lipsticks. It's not just like the lipstick is $20 or $30. It's like throughout collecting so much product over the years, like times that, I multiply it by how much lipstick I have. I try not to like regret my choices, but I think it's an opportunity to be reflective on my future choices. I realized like, oh my gosh, like I could be saving so much money like back in my pocket, my retirement, all those things, if I didn't spend so much money on makeup. I just made this conscious decision that even if I had a YouTube channel, I'm still not going to buy as much product anymore. So that kind of happened, and what I wanted to test myself was, and this is the Chanel Le Beige. Speaking of products, this is a new one. The reason like why is like I wanted to be more intentional with my purchases, right? Like, so what's different for me is that I have to ask myself, am I buying the product because I want to review it versus like I'm out of it, or like it's something missing from my collection? And then because of the YouTube channel, I found myself buying products just to review for you guys. And so I'm not at that level of like a Michelle Wong or a Morgan Turner, I forget her last name, Morgan, or like a lot of the bigger YouTube channel, or Charlotte in England. Like there are YouTubers who like legit do this as their full-time job, and they get compensated, they get PR, they actually make a lot of, not say a lot of money, I actually don't know how much money they make. All I know is that all I can speak of is my experience. Like I don't do this, I don't get PR. I buy everything out of my own pocket. I think I got kicked off of the YouTube algorithm recently. I got kicked off and they said, well, you have to start producing more content again. So maybe I'm back on. I don't remember. But either way, like, even if I was getting, I met over 1,000 subscribers, like, you have to still like have a minimum number of viewing and uploads. So all to say is that I'm not like, even if I was making a little money to help offset the cost, it wasn't enough to like quit my job, right? And it's just, maybe it was like 20 or 30 bucks at a month or every other month, right? So that's kind of like what I'm saying, is that I'm not doing this as a job. It's not like I'm like paid to do content creation. If that's not my job, like my main job, like I actually have a paid job, right? Like a 9 to 5, or if you will. So I found myself, I was like buying stuff. I'm describing this Le Beige, and I did a review of this product. They recently came out with olive colors. This is BO53, Beige Olive 53. Love this. What I don't like is the smell, but it does dissipate. This is the product. Okay, I'm grabbing a Sonia G brush. I don't know if she even sells these anymore. These are like the Fusion series. I love this color. I love this product. It's very light. So I usually just do one pump. And if anything, I think it's a little smidge too light for me. Actually, you can see where I'm a little bit more tan. You know, with not buying a lot of product just to review, it decreased my reviews, and that was okay. Like, that's a decision I made of like, I don't want to buy a lot of products, and then the impact is that I'm probably not making a lot of new videos for you. And what I do know about the beauty space, at least the ones that generate a lot of views and clicks and likes and generate money, are the reviews of new products. And in a way, I just got tired of feeding the beast, right? Like, I don't want to necessarily like encourage overconsumption, and that's a little different than consumption, right? Like, you're all here maybe because you like hang out with me. I love that if you are, and like, or you're someone who has similar skin tone and age as I am. I love that. Thank you. I love hanging out with you too. And then there are some people who are like, I need to know if you've tried that new reformulation of the Estee Lauder like double wear foundation. Like, tell me about that. Like, I'm not gonna buy stuff that I don't really like or use, and I don't get that stuff for free. So, you know, I think what's hard is that to do content creation and like stay like, I'm not gonna say relevant, but like get the likes and all the comments and stuff like that. Like, really, it does the beast, that to feed the beast, you have to buy and review new products, and I just am not at that level yet, I would say, that I'm getting PR that I can review this stuff without like spending the money myself. Okay, so that looks really pretty. Oh, it's so pretty. So if I am using foundation, I am not using like full coverage foundation lately, and you can see why. My skin before I put this on was really good, and this is just more just like an evening out, and I'm really moving towards foundations that like just keep my natural skin. I don't want it to look like foundation anymore. And so I've gotten, actually I have a box that I want to show you. It'll be another video of like foundation that like I'm likely gonna get rid of. But before I do that, I want to do an olive tone video for you all. But I have a box of other stuff that I'm gonna declutter, and I'm gonna tell you why. What I like to use is whiskey for some like deep contouring. I think this works the best for me for contouring if I want a neutral kind of contour. So this is the shade Whiskey. And all the products I'm using are down below in my affiliate links. So if you would like to support me and my channel, one way to do that is to use the affiliate links down below. You don't pay more. What happens is like you just get a commission from the sale. It doesn't add any more money to your purchase. What it does, like, just kind of get like a credit, not a credit, like, I don't know, it's like 0.1% of the purchase. So like if you buy one of these, maybe I'll get like $1, something like that. There's some sort of algorithm. Okay, so you can see how like this is very neutral. I love it. Like the last time I had a really good like neutral contour with the deep undertone or deep shade was Milk, and they had a really beautiful one. I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, I loved it. It's like a really great shade of a contour, but that Milk makeup, because I don't know why, but it just dried up really quickly. It was like a little nubby one. There's something about this formula just from Westman Atelier that just blends beautifully, and it's easier. It's like, I understand why people love Westman Atelier now. It's really, really easy to use. It's kind of like for people who don't want a lot of fuss or not so adept at makeup, which is totally fine. For me, I'm like, I know how to do makeup, but I just want things to be easy at this point. I want to show you, this is whiskey and this is cocoa. Sorry, this is misspoke. Whiskey and cocoa. So I have swatches of these in my other video, but basically the way I've been using these two products is that I've been kind of layering it. So I put cocoa on top because it's almost like a blush moment. Can you see that? So pretty. I also use the Victoria Beckham Beauty, I'm just gonna call it the contour stick. So this is the Victoria Beckham contour stick. I think it's called Stylus. And I use the shade, let me make sure I'm using the shade Marble. And so I like to use this one specifically because it's so small. I love it because I love the Westman Atelier product because it's the formula. I love the formula of this too, but the Westman Atelier, you can see it's really chunky. It's really hard to use this for precision. So I like to use this for like detailed work. I might even put some here for some depth. The BK Beauty 207 brush. It's kind of got this rounded edge. And I just use anything smaller because it's easier with precision. With this product, I've also just used legit my fingers in a pinch. Okay, just adding down here adds a little bit more depth to my face. And I actually would go in and just kind of like use this to diffuse, and then kind of using this to smudge some depth into my eye as well. And this is an easy hack, right? Like if you don't want to use a lot of makeup that day, it just kind of adds a little bit of something depth to your face. I love those sticks. I'm really starting to really appreciate and love the products of Westman Atelier and Victoria Beckham. They're just really usable and great quality products, and kind of like no fuss, no muss kind of makeup. So I mean, I could stop here, but we're doing a video. All right, so I haven't bought a lot of makeup, but the main ones is like, I found that I also was like buying a lot of makeup palettes, eyeshadow palettes, and having to do reviews. And I did notice like the love I had for doing palettes, I just didn't really enjoy doing them. So and a lot of content creation, I'm noticing, at least my perception, is that they were a lot of beauty ones will be about eyeshadow palettes. It's not that I'm not gonna do them anymore, but why I kind of stopped doing them is because I think when I was doing the eyeshadow palettes, it really encouraged me to buy more palettes, and I'm not about that life anymore. So I probably bought only 2, maybe 3 palettes last year. One was the Dior palette, which I don't even reach for because it's like, it's pretty, but it's not my color story that I use a lot. But I bought also the Bibliophilia palette, and this is the Byredo one. I recently also bought the Vesuvio palette, and I'm not going to do a review of it. The short term of it is that the short story is that I thought I liked it, and then it came, and then I thought about it, and I was like, you know, everything I'm talking to you about is like, I'm trying to be accountable of my purchases. I realized that I wasn't going to use that color story, so I didn't even open the package, and I actually returned it. So yeah, I made that decision not to even like keep that product. Okay, so I love these, like this palette. I think it's like almost like the perfect warm tone on this side and cool tone on this side. I am wearing something warm today. I'm wearing like an umber color, or I guess it's umber. It's kind of like a burnt sandstone. So I'm going to go into this side of the palette, just kind of doing this. So I never even did a review of this Byredo palette. Which shade did I pick? I picked up Pages of Wisdom. This one. I love it. I love the formula of the Byredo palette. That Vesuvio palette color story, I knew I wasn't going to reach for. So that's something I've been also thinking about, like really being conscious of, like, am I going to use that color story? Is it really worth the $100 that I'm paying? Like, that's $100 I could save, pay off bills, all those things, like go on a trip. And so yeah, I ended up returning it, and I'm fine using what I have. These are just beautiful palettes. Like, it pains me for, like, I was looking at my collection, like I have so much beautiful makeup I haven't been using, because there's a point where, like, I only have one face. I'm not a working makeup artist, that when I have too much, it's hard for me to actually use all of what I have and enjoy. So I love the Byredo formula. I think these are wonderful, wonderful high-end luxury makeup, and I can be fine just doing that, just one and done if I wanted, but I'm gonna keep going. I'm still gonna do YouTube, I think, and content creation. What you're gonna see is, like, basically me not buying everything. One YouTube channel I really love is Bob. I don't know the creator, but it's Best of the Best. I think Bob is what they stand for, that acronym. And they basically just kind of go over, I'm using the same color, I'm just using a flat edge brush. They go over products that are being released and kind of like, basically kind of go through their thought process of if they like the product, or like, even if they're tempted, or they basically go through their collection of what looks similar. So I really appreciate that content. So let me know. I'm not going to do the same, obviously, that's the person's channel, which I love. But if you want something similar, like, don't buy this, you have it in your collection, I can shop my stash and then kind of do swatches of things, so I don't, like, basically buy things. Let me know if you want product content like that. What do I want to do? I don't think I want red. I mean, I could do that. Oh, that's really pretty. I don't think I've used that shade before. I'm just going to take a flat edge brush, and I'm going to go into this shade here. I believe it's the shade Soul Escape. Oh, sounds a little ominous. Soul Escape, and just kind of like using that to layer. Okay, I'm gonna flip my brush and then use a lighter edge. I think I'm gonna maybe go into this. Yeah, the lighter one. This one up here. What shade is that? That is the shade Alliteration. Okay. Oh right, this is the palette about books and reading. Pretty on me. It almost comes, it looks in the pan, it looks to be a neutral, but because of my skin tone, it shows off almost a little bit like light pink. It's not completely white neutral, which I appreciate, because white neutrals on my skin tone look really scary and ghastly. Going in with that same shade and kind of expanding the shadow out. When I do open my eyes, I might lose some of the shadow. So pretty. So I'm going to curl my lashes. I'm done with Bibliophilia. Gosh, I wish they made these permanent, honestly, but once it's gone, it's gone. So my two top shelf eyeshadows I have in here are the Mineralscapes and Bibliophilia. And those are like the ones I've been reaching for the most. And then, oh, I have like a single here by Chanel. This is part of the new collection. I think this was Brune Rose, and I did do a video on that. Having eye corrector. This is the Natasha Denona corrector in C4. I'm just putting it on my hands because then I can control it more. This is a little bit too deep for me, so I just take a fluffy brush and then work it into the back of my hand, and I just kind of press it in to do some color correcting. And that's something I need to do no matter what concealer I have. If I don't color correct, I'm always going to get like some sort of like gray cast. This is color theory. So unless I use like a very orangey based concealer, and then it's not really concealer anymore. It starts to be corrector. Okay, so this is C4 from Natasha Denona. Okay, something I picked up probably last year, but I didn't do a review on, is the Prada eyeliner. This one. And I had heard a lot of great things about this shade Wood 02. Great formula. I get it now. It kind of reminds me of a bit of, reminds me like a cross between the Urban Decay gel liners and the eyeliners from Victoria Beckham. Really great. But the Victoria Beckham ones are a little bit oilier. This is just like the nice balance between those two. The Urban Decay one I stopped buying because it's really hard to remove. And I've just been putting like eyeliner at the outer edge of my eyes lately. I'm taking it's just like a smudging brush. This is BK Beauty 204. It's this one. I love these. I love this brush so much. I have 2 of them, maybe 3 in my collection. It's just like the perfect amount of like smudge. There we go. And then I'm going to go on top and smudge. I'm not going to move it too aggressively because then I don't want the product to go away. If I'm going out, I will finish usually with like a liner, like liquid liner. Or this is the Charlotte Tilbury liquid liner in brown. And I just kind of like go over that again. Oh yeah, this is what I remember about this liner. It's not very pigmented. And then we're going to put this on the new Chanel concealer. It's Ultra Le Temps. I would say this is like more full coverage. The Westman Atelier is more like, I feel like it's like an everyday, really good for my eyes, serum-y kind of concealer. So this is the Westman Atelier on top, M4, and this is the Ultra Le Temps concealer at the bottom. Definitely more yellow, that one underneath. It's BD51. So I put usually the concealer on my hand and I press in with a concealer brush. This is the Beauty Pie concealer brush. Push the product into the concealer brush and then I apply it. And what that does, it helps me apply the concealer in a way that's kind of like a thinner layer. I'm finding if I put concealer right on my eyes, it's just too thick. And because I'm aging and I'm having a lot of my wrinkles, I'm seeing more around my eyes. And which is fine. It's just then I have to change up how I do my makeup routine. So I actually just put a little bit more on my hand. And what this allows me to do is add the concealer in a very thin layer. So I really try not to put concealer like right on my face anymore, which a lot of YouTubers do. Maybe they're younger than me too. So that's like a hack I've been doing. My biggest, like, I laugh about this, like, when I see YouTubers, and it's fine, like they're like, it's wrinkle-free friendly or age friendly. It's like, girl, you're 30 years old, or girl, you're 40. I am not that age. So I can tell you, like, I am actually that demographic of 50 and over. And it just like, I just think it's a big funny hoot. They're like, I'm making a milestone birthday. I'm 40 this year. I'm like, that's so cute. And then you're saying like it's age friendly makeup. I'm like, you talk to me when you're in your 50s, and then I'll listen to you. So I'm gonna get in close so you can see. I'm noticing, because I have a lot of bags under here, and this is where, when I smile, this is where the foundation or the concealer will start to well up. Do you see? Right, and that's it. Like, it's a privilege to age. That's not, I'm trying to hide them. What I'm trying to do is, what is the best technique for me with the under eye bags I have and the wrinkles, not to hide it, but I don't want to add more cakiness to it. So you can see where I've just come up, I don't know what worked for you, but this is like a hot tip. I just don't put concealer on so much. I try not to put concealer like right onto my eyes anymore, because it just adds too much product and it just ends up being a cakey mess. So that was a technique I've been starting to do, is like, again, using the products and putting it on my hand and working into the brush, and that way I feel like I have more control of the light layers on my face. Really nice. It's like full coverage, but it's not heavy. I tried the Charlotte Tilbury one, the concealer that came out. I didn't even want to do a review. Just that's my truth. Like, I tried it and I was like, this is terrible. Like, I'll tell you, my experience was like, I thought it was terrible. It's not for my aging skin. Yeah, it was just really bad. So what I'm going to do is, like, what I've been struggling with, and maybe you all can help me with this, is that I'm struggling with setting my under eye and things being too dry. So I'm going to take, this is Addiction Tokyo. I have some of their loose powder. I'm so sad they are not in the United States anymore. They're not selling their products. I'm going to say it's because of the tariffs. So what I'm doing is I put some powder on here, but not too much. And again, this is what I mean by, like, just really lightly. I don't want to dry out that area, because that's where you're going to start seeing, I'm going to start to see more wrinkles, but I just want to set it. I think, like, even when I started YouTube or did my makeup years ago, I would like bake, and I'm like, no, we're not baking anymore. That does not work for someone of my aging like under eye. So I don't bake, I just put very thin layers at this point. And I'm just putting layers in my T-zone right now. I grew up in Michigan, and I recently was visiting my family, and we went down to Detroit. And downtown has a little bit of a revitalization, which I love. And the Lip Bar is a Black-owned beauty company by someone who is in Detroit, and they have their one brick and mortar shop is in downtown Detroit. And the Lip Bar had, like, they're mostly known for lipsticks, but they started doing other products, including this Fresh Glow Dream Blush. Love this blush. You'll see, it's not too glowy, which I appreciate. The shade is 03 Cheek. Oh my gosh, I can't even read this. Cheek Freak. So it comes in like this little thing here, and I'll just kind of show you the shade. For me, obviously, it's like kind of the color of my sweater, but I love it. I love it. It's just amount of glow, but not. And what I've been doing is putting it back here. I would say this is definitely probably melanin friendly, so this is pretty deep. That's why I put it back here, but I love this product. I love it. It's a doe foot. I tried the Selena Gomez one. I'm not an 18-year-old demographic. That's her demographic. It's probably young women like Alyssa Liu. So I'm just taking a Katie Jane Hughes brush, and I just move around the product. It's really beautiful. And with my oily skin, it definitely works. Okay, I don't want to move the product too much. So that is a beautiful product. I've been using that Fresh Glow. This product here. So if you're looking for a liquid blush that's not like super expensive, but like really high performing, and you want to support a smaller business that's not like in Sephora, definitely the Lip Bar. Okay, so, and I've been doing two types of things with my blush. I kind of do this always. This is Chouchette by Westman Atelier, and I like to use this in the front. So I'm going to show you. It just kind of brightens up my face. It's like this youthful glow. And then look how pretty that is. And I don't move it around too much. I just kind of diffuse the edges. And then I might run it over this way. Beautiful. Love it. Okay, and we're going to do extra since we're doing my makeup, because I haven't seen you all in a while. This is this teeny little highlighter. It's the shade Lit Up Highlight Stick. And sometimes I'll just take my finger. This is what it looks like. And what I'll do is just add that. There's already a natural glow I have, but it's just so, so pretty. I'll do the high points. Really pretty. Just look healthy. That's what I really like. I'm getting why people like Westman Atelier so much. It's just like adds and emphasizes like the healthiness of one's skin, and it doesn't really change how the person look. It's just like a healthier boosting of your natural beauty. All right, so I'm looking at my eyebrows. I'm saying, wow, I need some eyebrow help. This is like the part of the routine I don't enjoy. It's just one of those things like I think we have to do, or I'm finding like my eyebrows are thinning as I'm aging, and that wasn't the case before. When I was younger, I used to have like really full bushy eyebrows. I'm using the Precisely My Brow Pencil. One thing I've been trying to do lately is I'm gonna be taking a trip with my teenager soon. We usually go on a trip for their spring break, and I'm trying to figure out where to go with him. You know, the factor I always have is like, I'm a woman traveling alone with their kid. My spouse doesn't come with me. So I'm always thinking about safety for myself and my teenager. If you have ideas, let me know. Please drop it in the chat, or the chat below, of ideas of where we can go. One idea I had was, I used to live in New York City for years, and then we moved out here. So I was thinking about actually a trip back to New York and visiting some chosen family out there. It's really expensive though. I don't like, unless a friend offers, I don't like to stay at their place, because if you're a New Yorker, you know, like space is really tight in New York, and often people are just living in spaces that are really just barely accommodating them. So I don't really want to impose unless a friend's going to offer, and most of my friends are in small spaces. So So I've been looking for places to stay, and it's really expensive. Okay, so I think that's enough. I don't think I want to, well, let's run a little bit of gel through. This is Brow Lamination L'Oreal. So I don't think there's any reason to do like luxury makeup for like eyebrows. I think it's ridiculous. I tried one in here that's like way too expensive and it's not worth it. Just get drugstore stuff. For if there's things you want to save money on, I would say mascara and eyebrow products. Like, you don't have to spend a lot of money on that. Also, my two least favorite things to work on my face. Okay, so eyebrows are done. So yeah, I'm gonna get like some eyebrow shaping done in about 2 weeks, and I'll let you know how that goes. I'm just gonna take some of this Charlotte Tilbury powder and then grab my squirrel hair brush. This is like the Lunar New Year Rabbit one, and just kind of push it in here and just use that around here, just slightly press that here, and that's it. Like, I'm not putting any extra. This is a kind of a blurring powder, and I have to powder down generally because my face is so oily. My parents were really sick, and we moved my parents out here during COVID, and my mother, she was suffering from dementia. So I basically, even though I have a full-time job, my brother, my sister, and I, we put my parents in 24-hour care. I tried to take care of them. My mom lived with us, but it's just, if you know, you know, if you have a loved one with dementia, Alzheimer's, it's really difficult. Like, they need 24-hour care. So we decided to have professionals take care of them. But that doesn't mean that you're still like not involved. Like, I would still take my mom to appointments, all her doctor appointments, and then see them at least once or twice a week. So my brother and I kind of teamed up. My brother took my dad to all his doctor appointments, and then I would take my mom. I'm just putting some Tower 28 mascara Drift. It's brown. I actually got this in PR, so thank you, Tower 28. I got one in black and then one in brown. I had never tried brown mascara, so I wanted to try it, and then I gave the black one to my niece, who was using really old mascara, and I begged her, please replace this every 90 days because it's bad for your eyes. So yeah, I just gave her a bunch of mascara for a year's supply for every 90 days to replace. So far it's okay. I can see why people like the mascara. It's very light. I already have black hair, so I'm not sure really what it's doing other than it's kind of separating my lashes. So I think if you have like blonde hair or light hair, I could see why the brown mascara is a nice choice for you. But someone who has black hair already, it's the brown mascara, not quite sure what it's doing. So my mom and dad's health was really declining last year, and it was only a matter of time. And I was really trying to mentally prepare myself. And part of that was actually rolling back on YouTube. So let me just finish my mascara, because I feel like I shouldn't be talking about my parents well. I feel like it's a little frivolous to be doing makeup, but let me just do my lashes and then finish up the last reason where I've been the last 12 months. I'm using the Chantecaille Faux Seals mascara. This is the last tube I have of them. During the mascara sale of Nordstrom, the past probably 4 or 5 years, I'll get this because this product is so expensive. The Faux Seals has like peptides in it to help your lashes grow. I do think it helps. However, I'm here to tell you today that I found a product that does the same thing, and for I did say cheaper, didn't I? It's way cheaper, and it's clean beauty. This is also clean beauty too, but this is ridiculous to have to pay, like, I want to say this is like $70 makeup. Like, really, no one should be paying $70 for makeup, even if it has like a magical formula. Okay, so I love this as an everyday because I don't get clumpy. So it's Sochi Beauty. I'm gonna show you really quick. I have, this was actually gifted to me in PR, but I loved it so much. Oh, here it is. I got the refill. So this is a really good like substitute. It's a waterproof tubing mascara. So that Chantecaille one here is not tubing, but it's supposed to, it claims that it's, sorry, I grabbed the one. Chantecaille. It claims it's peptides that help with eyelash growth. I saw that for a little bit, but this is a better product. Like, I definitely saw my eyelash grow faster with this. So as soon as this is expired, I'm actually going to open this. So there's a refill. I'll show you. I'm not going to refill it today because once you open it, you have 90 days. But here is the refill, and it's like green packaging. And yeah, so if you're looking for something that has peptides and like clean beauty but more effective in cost, like SUQQU Beauty. Oh, I just love this mascara. And then I love their refillable, replaceable. I like they have small, really small eyeliners. I love this. I think this is also, yeah, replaceable. I got this in PR, and then I finished this, what do you call it? The gifted product is done. So this is actually a replacement. So I did buy this with my own money, the replacement. And eventually I do want to get the other shades of this eyeliner. I love just like the small eyeliner. Oh, this is a fun one. You haven't seen this on my channel yet. Okay, so I'm grabbing, this is something I picked up. I didn't buy much lipstick last year either, but I did pick up this one. I'm glad I picked it up because it was actually in store so I could swatch it. This is the PRADA lipstick. It was part of like their nudes that came out. This is a balm, and I will put the shade below. It doesn't have the shade, it's so annoying. They had like a nude balm, medium, and then deep. And this is a balm. This is definitely my shade. I have to say I prefer their balms more than their mattes. Actually don't own, I don't think I own any of their mattes anymore. So let me take this off. Okay, so lip balm is off, and I'm just putting on this PRADA one. I really love this balm. I think it's beautiful. I don't think this mechanism is recyclable. You know how some of their packaging, it's like a refill. This does not come in it. So it's confusing to me. Like they marketed this whole green thing, and then for some products they don't do. I love this color, this one here. It's so pretty on my lips. It's like my lips but better. I know my shades are like burgundies and browns, like look really nice on my lips. I just like this formula more because I just like balms. I'm noticing like unless it's like a non-drying matte, my lips look so dry. But yeah, that was like probably one of my favorite lipsticks last year. The reason why I really haven't been on YouTube is that I've been really busy with my parents and caregiving, and really, I don't want to be a downer, but you know, they were at the end of their life, and I knew that the end was soon, and I did not want to spend time doing content creation as a means of coping, meaning like escape. Like death is something real that a lot of us experience in grieving. So I've been in the process of grieving, I would say, well over a year. And I don't say this to be like, oh, poor you, poor Miki. I think I'm sharing it with you all because some of you are wondering where I went, but also like, I think this is a very human experience. I think a lot of us have experienced people that they've lost. So in February of last year, my friend who had just turned 51, I want to say 51, she suddenly got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and by then it was too late. And it was during Lunar New Year, and usually like we call each other or text each other, and I had not heard from her when I said Happy Lunar New Year, Chúc mừng năm mới, which is in Vietnamese, and she didn't respond back to me, and I got really worried. I'm like, why didn't she respond back to me? And I later found out that she was already like, you know, she was very sick, and I actually didn't find out till the day she actually passed that she passed. And unfortunately she passed on the day of my spouse's birthday. So it was like a really difficult time of like, we're celebrating my spouse's birthday. I was out like ready to go to dinner, and then I just got the call from my friend. Okay, I had to stop for a bit because I started tearing up. And tears are okay. Like tears are expression that I loved her. So she passed, and it was a wake-up call for me to be like, you know, my parents are likely gonna pass soon. And my dad, at that point, my mom and dad had been in and out of the emergency room, and there would be times like my brother and I would be sitting there like in the emergency room of like, it's either my mom or dad that would be in the emergency room. And it was like on average every month and a half or 2 months, like we were taking one of them in, and it wasn't just sustainable anymore. In the end of August, my father passed. I'm not going to go into details of how he passed, other than it was pretty sudden. I was at work. It was really terrible. I am pretty private at work and like to have kind of like my business like at work. Like I basically ran out of a meeting crying. I basically got the call that my father had stopped like breathing, and he like was only being revived through CPR, even though we kind of expected like to actually have a DNR, do not resuscitate. And at that point I knew like he either was dead or was dying. So they had to like revive him. I can't remember the number of times, like 5 or 6 times, because he was coding, and at that point he was in a coma. So I want to say about 4 to 5 days we were in the ICU. I do appreciate that like I got to see him pass. Like I think one of my fears, and then we can never control it, but to like say goodbye to a person is really a special thing. Like some people don't want to see it, but for me, I'm that type of person, and I like kind of had prepared myself of like what I wanted that to look like. I'm really grateful that I got to say goodbye to my dad. Actually, we were around him when he passed, and I had to take a break like from life, quite honestly. And so that was at the end of August. And then really my mom started not doing well. Like they had been married for well over 50 years at that point. And we always kind of expected like, oh gosh, like when one of them goes, like the other one will likely probably pass really quickly. And my mom had Alzheimer's, and pretty much she declined. And that was really hard. Like I knew likely she wasn't going to hold on very much longer. So the day after Christmas, my mother passed, and that was really hard. This is really hard to do after I did my makeup. I'm not sure why I decided to do the makeup and then tell you guys. But anyway, my mom passed, and so the past couple months I've been working with my brother and sister on like settling the estate, grieving, all the things. And I will say this, like, it's a very human experience to lose someone, and grieving is not linear. So I've been like, if you want a different video on that, like I'm happy to talk about like all the things I've been doing to like work through my grief. It's definitely not a makeup video, but like I would say like if you want me to talk about all the things I've been doing in practice, and like it's a different kind of video, I'm happy to do it, because I think if it helps even one person, I'm happy to talk about it, because I think in this culture we don't talk about death and people dying enough. And it's like a very human experience that I think all of us are really going to experience at some point in their life, unfortunately. So I think the whole thing is like, you know, how do I work through it, and like who do I lean on, and all those things. So my hope is like, because some of you were asking like what happened, like I didn't just quit YouTube. I think it was a conscious decision to like hold back and not do so much content creation, you know, for all the things of like overconsumption. But moreover, the wake-up call was like I knew my parents were going to pass soon. So I'm back to making YouTube videos and content creation, but it's just a lot different. Like I'm not buying tons of makeup. I'm really like curating. Not only am I curating my collection, I'm curating my life. Like I think when someone passes, it's like a really big wake-up call of like how you want to spend this time. Like who I spend time with, I'm very like even really particular with. I think we should be doing that anyway, but yeah, I've just been like curating my time and like where my energy, where I'm finding joy, which I think is a really great thing generally, but people should be doing. Like, what is it that I want to be doing in my time? So if I'm like doing a content creation, it's because I genuinely want to be here, but that also means like I'm not going to be doing as much of like 2 to 3 videos a week, because how I show up to you is really how I am. And if I'm feeling sad or I'm just not into it or not going to put on makeup, like then I'm not going to film. But today, like I was feeling cute. This is like one of my favorite sweaters, and this is definitely like my color palette. I don't even know what this is called. I think it's a burnt umber, but and burgundies. Like this is one of my favorite colors. So I was like, I love this sweater. My hair is like looking good. I'm doing this like a new hair regimen. I'm leaving this like leave-in conditioner, and it's like really working for my hair lately. So like I'm having a really good hair day. My makeup is looking great. You know, it's the start of the week, so I thought I would film that. And for those of you who are wondering where I was, this wasn't meant to be like, you know, a pity kind of party for me. It was genuinely like some people were asking what happened, and if it helps like share my story about like what I've been going through, like how I view makeup, and also like life stuff. Like we're all human, we have stuff going on. So if you want to know like how I'm working through my stuff, like my grief and working through it, then let me know. If not, we'll just keep doing the content creation. But if there's like other content creation you want me to see, let me know. If you like this content like format of like me getting ready with me and then I talk about a topic, then let me know. Or you guys can pick a topic and we can talk about it. I've also been thinking about doing lives, so I'm also curious to see if you would be interested in that as well. Okay, beauty fam, as always, please take very good kind of yourself and others, and just be you. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe below. And until the next video, beauty fam, take good care. Bye.